I worked as a bilingual engineer, and bilingual basically is I've done Japanese language. And with that qualification, after some years, I was also sent to Japan on a project for a period of 2 years. So business analysis was one of those things that I came across after a lot of research. So as the business analyst, initially I was given training of how the insurance domain works, like because I had not the previous experience for it. Also in Japanese, sometimes I have to explain that to our Indian developer teams, and so this is also how it's an additional thing that I get to explain that in Japanese as well.
Hello everyone, this is Shweta and welcome back to another episode of Alumini Chronicles from PIBA. Today we have Ketki with us. Welcome Ketki. She is currently working as a business analyst with Capgemini and she began her professional journey as a bilingual engineer. She has made an impressive transition from bilingual engineer to business analyst. Let's dive deep into her fascinating story of this transition. All right, let's get started, Ketki. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. Could you please start giving us a brief introduction of yourself before we dive deeper into your transition journey?
Yes, yeah, sure. Thank you for welcoming me. As you mentioned, I worked as a bilingual engineer, and bilingual basically is I've done Japanese language, and I was not enjoying that profession and wanted to look for better career prospects. And after doing a lot of research, I came across business analysis, which what for my colleagues were also doing. So that's how I got introduced to business analyst, and I decided that I want to become a business analyst. So
Oh,
this is how I transitioned from a bilingual engineer to a business analyst.
okay, so when did you exactly start as a bilingual engineer and for how many years you were working as a bilingual engineer or as an analyst?
I started my professional career in 2017 in Fidel Softec. And since I had Japanese language, I was given those projects related to interpretation or translation, and also like dealing with a bit of technical IT work. So this is how I started as a bilingual engineer. And with that qualification, after some years, I was also sent to Japan on a project for a period of 2 years. So I was working there, and obviously, I for 2 years I was working, and I was not enjoying that job. And also, COVID also came during that time, so the project also got over, and I decided to come back. So till that duration in Japan, I was working as a bilingual engineer.
Okay. So why BA? Why business analyst? Why did you not choose something else?
Analysis because I realized that in IT industry, I did not enjoy much technical aspect of the work. Uh, I could understand technical concepts, but I didn't want to be in the complete technical part of it, like developers are or testers are, and it was not possible for me to become a developer at that point. So I realized I enjoyed communication, interacting with clients, so that kind of work I enjoyed more, I realized after a lot of introspection. So business analysis was one of those things that I came across after a lot of research. So this is how I felt like it aligns with my career interest. Plus, I've learned Japanese language. So that also helps me interact with the clients more. I also enjoy the aspect of interacting with Japanese language since I've done that. So I thought this would be a best combination for me and my career interest going forward.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as you mentioned that it is helping you, the bilingual part is also helping you in as a BA role. So can you shed some light like how exactly your earlier profile is helping you in your current profile?
Yes, so I was always interacting with Japanese clients. So my bilingual skills obviously improved over the years to understand client requirements and how it's obviously Japan is a different country they have their own culture, and we need to interact in a certain way with clients. So after years of experience of dealing with Japanese clients, also in my current job, it helps me understand what they want and how to work with Japanese clients. So that is how it helps me.
Okay, so basically you're saying that it is an add-on for your current BA role.
Yes, yes, yes. A language skill, I think any foreign language skill can add to that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of scope for that. If you even are a developer or something, is that you get a language skill and it adds up to your skill also, and you get the specific client on that country. And I think that is also a very useful skill. So this is how it really helped me.
That's nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And can you give us a detail about how your current roles and responsibilities look like in Capgemini, and how long it has been you're working with Capgemini now as a business analyst?
I think it's been a year and 3 months now.
Okay.
Uh, so I work in insurance domain. So as the business analyst, initially I was given training of how the insurance domain works, like because I had not the previous experience for it.
Okay.
And so basically, we have an application where we have to fill the insurance form. So we have like a lot of the screens, and every screen has a particular requirement,
Okay.
how the screen should look like.
Okay.
Uh, Also, like we have a lot of documentation for it. What exactly are the changes? What exactly the client wants it to look like? So obviously, I'm involved in all this requirement gathering sessions of what the client is expecting. Sometimes we also hold like developers sometimes don't understand the requirement. So also I have to explain that. Also because it's also in Japanese, sometimes
Okay.
I have to explain that to our Indian developer teams, and so this is also how it's an additional thing that I get to explain that in Japanese as well. So this is the way that even the documentation is in Japanese. So even sometimes I have to, sometimes the translation is not available quickly, then I have to explain the requirement in Japanese language as well.
Okay.
So this is how I work as a business analyst, the developer and the client.
Interesting. So, yeah, your language skill is definitely helping you. While sharing this, you
Yes.
mentioned that you did not have the insurance background. So, basically, we are trying to say that having a domain knowledge is not an hurdle to transition into business analyst. Am I right?
Yes, yes, they definitely because you there's so many domains we work in. It's not possible that we can get knowledge of everything. But yes, we definitely have to research a lot on the domain that we work in when we are in that company. So I had to also do a lot of certifications related to insurance, understand the insurance industry. So yes, that we need to do to upscale it.
Okay. And for how long period did they provide you training into insurance domain?
About a month, I think.
So that is fine. I mean, month or 2 months time is fine for getting the domain knowledge you're saying.
Yes, I think it depends on how the project is and how they want to train you. So I think 1 month for me is enough. And like after I got into the project, I got more insight of how this actually works. So for me, it was a like bit of theory knowledge in the first month and more practical approach while I was working. So I was not given big tasks initially. It was like small tasks. Then this is how I got to know about the domain, and like once the work on project progressed, I was able to understand it.
Okay, thank you so much sharing that, because that will help a lot of business analysts out there who think that, or the ones who are trying to transition, they think that if we don't have the domain knowledge, we won't be able to transition. So having this sort of clarity to them is
Yes,
beneficial. So thanks for sharing that. So
yes, yes.
please tell me, how did your BA journey began? Like how did you started researching about the business analysis? Did you do some course, and how exactly it started?
So I was, as I said, trying to find what to do with my career as I was not enjoying being a bilingual engineer. So I came across various roles which had a lot of communication or interacting with clients as I enjoy doing that. So I came across business analyst, and also some of my former colleagues, senior colleagues, were also working as business analysts. So that gave me an idea that okay, this is also a good career option. So I also interacted with a lot of seniors who gave me some insights as to what exactly business analysis is. So that helped me, and obviously I researched a lot, and that is how I came across that business analyst would be a good fit for me.
Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing that. And then how exactly did you land up getting a PIBA course?
Yeah, so my sister, she's Ashwini Salodkar. She was also from Interacts, and she was the one who recommended me this course actually.
Okay.
So she was also a developer who transitioned to a BA role.
Okay.
And looking at her journey, I was also inspired to do that because I saw her that she landed a good job with the from this transitioning role. So I was also inspired to do that, and she highly recommended this course to me, and so I joined it.
Okay. So how did you exactly started the Interacts PIBA course research work, and how like did you initially interacted with Dibhanshu? How it started? Can you just shed some light on that?
So, as I said, my sister already gave me a brief of how this course is going to be. So she also then I interacted with Dibhanshu, and then he also gave me some idea about what business analyst will look like. So after that, I decided to join this course, and yeah, of course, I found out a lot about the course after I joined it. I mean, I had zero background about it,
Yes,
so.
I can understand that. Can you also tell that how beneficial this course turned out for you? I mean, you were transitioning for completely different background to a business analyst background. So how did it exactly help you?
As I said, I had no background, and Divanshu made it really easy for us to understand. Like in the first session, it was a year ago, yeah. So I remember him explaining that everything in simple terms of how exactly how a project's life cycle works. It's like he introduced it in very basic terms that I think even a very beginner person could understand. And also, since I'd worked slightly in the IT industry, I was also aware of some terms. So I think the first session was really helpful that he introduced us and eased us into that course, and it made me excited to learn about how this is going to be. So very basic concepts were explained very easily, and I got the confidence that okay, yes, I can actually understand something entirely different, and it can help me.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. And how exactly the course structure, like you think it was beneficial, and how the assignments or the tools that was like you got an hands-on experience during your course period, right? So how beneficial it turned out to be in your current project. So can you just tell us about that?
Yes, so obviously it started with theoretical knowledge as Dibanshu was sharing, but we also got assignments every week, and we were actually working on practical ways how to do requirement gathering, requirement analysis, how to write the acceptance criteria and user stories. So those assignments actually helped me in my interview. Also, that they got that okay, she understands what these terms are. And in my current job also, sometimes we have to do the requirement gathering and analysis, and we have to also uh, do the understand the scope of the project, or uh, they interact with clients and how to sometimes clients are also a bit difficult, so we have to deal with that. So I think when I was doing those assignments, it really helped me in a practical way. Whatever we were doing at that time, also I got a brief of how we can actually do it practically. So that's how it's also helped me in the current role.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for explaining everything in so much of detail. So basically, you're saying the practical part of it is helping you a lot in your current role with Cap
Yes.
current project. So good to hear that. Apart from this, I would also want to know that how the interview journey began. How did the mock interview with Dibhanshu helped you? So can you also please shed some light on that?
Yeah, sure. So, as Dibhanshu had prepared us for, the like all the mock interviews, so we read that, and so during the interview, we had to make a story of, uh, yeah, like how to actually interact with the interviewer, and that was explained very well by Dibhanshu. And when we were doing that, I realized that with my previous experience, likely I can show that I have worked as a business analyst. So I had my first round, and they asked me very basic questions about SDLC. So with my first round, I was very confident that I was able to talk because I was very nervous,
Yeah.
and because it was such a completely different role, I had no confidence that I would crack it. But I think my first interview, I was able to remember all the practical concepts and theories that Dibhanshu taught, and smoothly, like I was able to answer the questions. So even I gained the confidence as the interview progressed. So that was like a very good thing. So yeah, those were all the questions they asked, and for by first round, it was pretty clear that okay, now it's just the managerial round.
Uh-huh.
So the next round was also basically for my Japanese skills as well, which I passed obviously. And yeah, so all these questions, by the way, I answered in Japanese only, whatever the business analyst questions were.
Okay.
So even like, yeah, and the managerial round also, they just asked me brief questions again, what I was asked in first round,
Oh,
and just some more questions about it. And yeah, like I was pretty confident I'm gonna get it, and I was an immediate joiner, so I got it.
okay, interesting. I mean, how this language is also helping you as an add-on. That was
Yeah.
interesting to know. And the practical side, the one-on-one interview with the Banshu and all helped you to boost your confidence. So good to know that. So moving forward, we are towards the end of this session now. So you have like explained a lot of things, like how you transitioned from bilingual engineer to a business analyst, how the PIBA course is helping you, has helped you to transition, and is also helping you currently. So thank you so much for sharing all those details with us, and it is definitely going to help our viewers to who is trying to transition into business analyst, right? So it will be helpful for them to know about all these things. So before we wrap up, one last question I would like to ask you, like how do you see how easy it is to transition, like do although you have explained, but how easy it is to transition into a BA role if there is a correct approach towards it? If you can just give some details on that.
Uh, I would say easy as in you have to work a lot on your, as Dibanshu also explained in the course, it's not just doing the course that's going to help you. You have to also work on the practical assignments that he gave us, because that is going to take a lot of work. And I think after that, if you keep practicing, because obviously entering a new field is very challenging, but I think if you do that in a practical approach and keep practicing, it can get easy. So yes, I think just doing the course won't help. You have to actually do the practical assignments,
Yeah.
and then you get the confidence to apply in the interviews. And yeah, that's how it can transition.
Yes, so basically, you're trying to say that the practical side of it, I mean, the assignments, the hands-on experience, the hands-on exposure to the tools and everything that you get through this course is way more beneficial than only the theoretical side of it, right? Uh,
Yes, yes, yes.
So, which is really like the BAs out there or the aspiring BAs out there should understand this, and it is definitely going to help them. So, I would
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us today and sharing all your thoughts about the business analyst role and about your transition journey from bilingual engineer to a business analyst, how the PIBA course has helped you to transition smoothly. And also, as you mentioned in your last, like we were discussing, right? You mentioned that it is not easy as it seems to be. There's a lot of hard work that needs to be put in.
Yes.
There should be a right approach and right mechanism behind it, the practical side of it. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing those things. Thank you so much, Ketki. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.